Welcome to American History Mysteries. My name is Coley Sims and I'll be your host. This week's mystery involves witches, a small village in Massachusetts, and some unfortunate girls that were caught up in a horrible mystery, the Salem witch trials. Before we start the story, we must get a little context into what being a witch meant to people in the 1600s. In 1692, there was a widespread scare in New England, which is the present-day United States, that the devil himself was giving certain people power to harm others in exchange for their loyalty. Along with a major fear of the devil during the time, there was also a disease epidemic wiping people out and the constant threat of surrounding Native American tribes attacking these people of New England. The people in Salem were on edge. The particular Salem scare began with two young girls, 9-year-old Elizabeth Betty Paris and 11-year-old Abigail Williams. Elizabeth was the daughter of the minister of Salem named Samuel Paris, and Abigail Williams was Elizabeth's cousin. Elizabeth and Abigail started having these weird fits that involved uncontrollable screaming, crazy contortions of their bodies, and a whole lot of violence. The doctor was called in and he immediately diagnosed them with bewitchment. Soon after Elizabeth and Abigail were diagnosed, a bunch of other girls in Salem started having the same type of fits, one after another. Ann Putnam Jr., Mercy Lewis, Elizabeth Hubbard, Mary Walcott, and Mary Warren were now all bewitched as well. Samuel Paris may have been the minister of that town, but the devil was running it. Now, no one in Salem could physically find the devil, so they had to find something tangible to blame this bewitchment on, or someone. A month after this hysteria began, arrest warrants went out for these women: the Paris' Caribbean slave named Tituba, a homeless woman named Sarah Good, and an old poor woman named Sarah Osborne. These three women were accused of bewitching all 7 of the bewitched girls of Salem. The accusers? Mainly Elizabeth Paris and Abigail Williams, the original 2 witches. The girls were put under intense pressure to name names. So the interrogations of Tituba, Sarah Good, and Sarah Osborne started on March 1st of 1692. Back then, there wasn't a police force yet because the American government hadn't been formed yet. Instead, there were local magistrates who would go around as civil officers that administered the laws and even started some trials all by themselves. Not exactly a foolproof system. Sarah Good and Sarah Osborne both denied the allegations of bewitching these young girls of Salem, but Tituba the Caribbean slave said some things that may have alarmed the people of Salem. Tituba said, and I quote, "The devil came to me and bid me serve him." She went on to describe some images that she had been having, including black dogs, red cats, yellow birds, and a certain experience of a black man wanting her to sign his book, which she did. Oh, and she also said there were more witches in Salem trying to destroy people. All these women remained in jail. Things started spiraling a bit out of control after Tituba talked about her meeting with the devil and potentially signing her soul away. Soon after, a prominent woman in Salem's local church was accused of witchcraft, and that made the mass hysteria grow even more. People started accusing everyone, and no one was safe from being a witch. It also didn't exactly help that many women being accused of being a witch started admitting to being a witch and then naming names of other witches. There was no longer a doubt about witches taking over in Salem in the minds of the people. So by late May of 1692, the first trial began after the new governor of Massachusetts set up a special court to hear all the bewitchment cases. Bridget Bishop was the first to be tried. She was found guilty and hanged shortly thereafter. By September, 19 alleged witches were hanged or died in prison. It was only then that people started getting concerned about what was going on. The governor soon realized he had lost support for these prosecutions and released the rest of the accused witches from prison. He may have come to his senses, or he may have been panicking because his own wife had just been accused of being a witch. Now, why is this considered an American history mystery? Because a town went completely hysteric and lost their collective minds over the possibility that there were witches in their town and killed 19 men and women with no evidence. How did this happen? Why did this happen? For the acts of bewitchment shown by some of the women of Salem, a study published in Science magazine in 1976 found the reason for these fits was probably fungus ergo. This fungus can cause delusions, muscle spasms, and vomiting, and is found in rye and wheat. So maybe Elizabeth and Abigail weren't having body contortions and violent outbreaks. Maybe they were just sick. No one really knows, that's why it's a mystery. This is the most popular theory of what happened back in 1692. So in the end, Elizabeth Parris and Abigail Williams survived bewitchment and the Salem witch trials. They started a scare that ended with 19 men and women being killed for possibly being witches. Sarah Good, one of the first 3 people accused of spreading witchcraft, was hanged, while Sarah Osborne died in jail. Tituba, on the other hand, was released from jail and never heard from again. The Salem witch trials happened in a time when religion was very widely practiced and collectively important to entire towns. A series of events, one could label unfortunate, spiraled a few accusations out of control. With no viable court system in place and very little common sense, 19 men and women were killed for supposedly being witches. At the very least, it is important to know that all the names of the accused witches have been cleared and a memorial stands in their honor.
Welcome to the University Bookstore. The University Bookstore provides students with the opportunity to purchase apparel, gift items, textbooks, snacks, supplies, and other necessities right here on campus. The bookstore is also home to textbook rental, where you can find many of your required textbooks. Our friendly staff always goes the extra mile to provide customers with a quick and pleasant experience. Visit the bookstore today to find great deals on everything you need to succeed as a Warhawk.
As an Army ROTC cadet at Whitewater, you have the opportunity to develop into a great leader while learning and applying the Army values to your everyday life. Within ROTC, you have the chance to travel overseas in the CULP program to train with other militaries, attend many elite Army schools such as Airborne and Combat Diver, and you have the opportunity to attend conferences and guest lectures by some of the Army's top-ranking officers. Our Warhawk cadets participate in many extracurricular activities, Division III sports, Greek life, intramural sports, among many other team building and community service events. Being a cadet at Whitewater is more than just being part of the Army. It's also about being active members in our community and coming together to form a family atmosphere. Anyone who wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves while developing themselves professionally should consider UW-Whitewater ROTC. To sign up for UW-Whitewater ROTC, go to the 4th floor of McCutcheon Hall to room 417.
If my mother pulls me away before my father even says a word.
The activism may see lower commitment levels. It has global and instantaneous reach.
The message that we can get from this roll of duct tape is that utility really is everything.
Video One Media Services provides accomplished students the opportunity to enhance their college experience by working with real-world clients. In addition, we provide clients local and affordable video options to better enhance their media needs. For more information on how Video One Media Services can help you with your next media project, email or call our office at 262-472-5659.
The featured creature of this week is the Jersey Devil. This creature has quite the gruesome origin. In 1735, Mother Leeds of Burlington, New Jersey, found out she was pregnant with her 13th child. Apparently, she wasn't very happy about this pregnancy and shouted, "I hope it's the devil." When Miss Leeds had the child, it is said to have been born a normal child before immediately growing a goat's head, hooves, bat wings, and a forked tail. As the creature escaped through the chimney, it growled and screamed before it killed the midwife, then disappeared into the pines. An important part of the origin story that is sometimes added in is that Miss Leeds was a witch and the father was the devil himself. For years, this legend grew, and by the 1800s, sightings started becoming a fairly common thing. A naval officer said he saw the Jersey Devil flying above the trees, so he shot it, but it didn't affect the creature at all. A rather famous historical figure also saw this creature, Joseph Bonaparte, Napoleon's brother and the former king of Spain. He saw the Jersey Devil when he was out hunting. Other than many sightings, there have been many weird animal deaths in New Jersey over the last few centuries. Most of the time, these animal deaths were unexplainable, but there were weird hoof-like tracks around where they were killed. A pen of chickens, flocks of sheep, and even dogs have all been possible victims of the Jersey Devil. The most common thing that is said in sightings or weird occurrences is that there's always a strange and scary screech from somewhere up above. So if you are in New Jersey and you hear a weird screeching noise, I would probably run and seek shelter. Save as many dogs as you can though, of course. This has been the second episode of American History Mystery. I hope you learned something about the tragic Salem witch trials and the scary creature that may lurk in the pines of New Jersey, the Jersey Devil. I'm Coley Sims, thanks for tuning in.